Friends, masters and gods, welcome to another edition of the magnificent spiritual revelations from Harold Walvin Percival, the author of the book Thinking and Destiny. This book is a complete exposition of the origin and development of the universe. We are also able to understand from this book the source, the purpose, and the ultimate destination of the human being. This knowledge is essential to us to know the purpose of our lives, and this again is significant because as our existence is made more comprehensible, the desire to transform our lives is also awakened. So this book is considered a book of books, and it is my pleasure as the Vice Chairman of the Indian Federation of Spiritual Scientists to present to you the wisdom from this book, thanks to our founder, Brahmarshi Pitamaha Patriji, who has selected this book almost 20 years back. And right now we have the culled out important messages from this book being sent throughout the country for the benefit of our members of the PSSS and for the other spiritual seekers. I have with me Brahma Vidvarishta Girija Rajan, who is going to give the commentaries on what we are going to speak today. Today's topic is religion and gods, and how there is a need for religions in the present circumstances when we have so many religions, but we also have people who do not believe in God or who are atheists. But what brings all of this and considers this important, we will be able to understand in the course of this reading. So I am about to start now. Religions which turn around personal gods seem incompatible with the law of thought as destiny. Some of their doctrines are particularly designed to settle inquiries into the mysteries of the law by statements which must be accepted by faith and without contradiction. A religion is the relation between man and a god or gods, which he has helped to fashion or maintain, largely for the purpose of getting comfort and protection. The religion into which a man is born or which he accepts during life indicates the stage of his development.
Yeah, my name is Girija Rajan. I have come here to listen to Rajan sir's reading of the book Thinking and Destiny, and I will be giving you that portion which he reads out in the way in which I have understood it. It is not a commentary. I can say that I only try to explain it in the way that I have understood it, so that it will be easier for those of you who are listening to this, who are viewing this, so that it will be brought to a certain stage of understanding. Otherwise, it is as such the book is very loaded with heavy words and loaded with very much a lot of wisdom, and it's an amazing book, no doubt. But to decipher everything and to understand it is quite a task. It is not impossible, but at the same time it is a difficult one at that. So that's why we are reading and trying to explain in the terms that we have understood it. So as we go into that paragraph which has been read out to us by Rajan sir, Percival says that every man needs comfort and security, protection. So to live that, to get that protection means it's a mental state. And comfort, of course, physical comforts, material comforts he needs. So, to attain all these things, he needs to keep his faith on something. So, he has to rely on something else outside of him. That is his idea. That is the general idea. So, that is why the religions are born. And the religions, they make those people who belong to that religion or who have got faith in that religion, there is a relationship that is being established between this person and the God that they have to worship. So, like that, many religions are there in this world, we know of them. And in every religion, there are one God or many gods on whom a person relies upon and who has got faith in order to get his daily life in a smooth way, in order to live his daily life in a smooth way, and always he is being protected by other forces, protected from other forces. And he also has got some security, because the future is always a mystery. So, he does not want to go there. Unknown is so much that he wants security in his mind. That is why he needs this religion. So, religions have been born like that. And the person who is much ahead of religion, who is grown spiritually to a higher position, he will never will be able to have any faith in this. He would have crossed the religious boundaries. But religion always binds people. It gives a boundary, definitely. It says that you have to have faith in that religion and abide by the laws of that, and never put questions which are controversial. So, like that it goes on. But people who believe in religion and believe in that God, the way religion portrays, it is always binding, so that we get connected, we function in a group, in a society. Whereas a person who doesn't believe, it is harder for him to get into these ideas because he is a disbeliever. So, in that way the religion is helpful to man in such a way that there is a communal living, that is we can live in a community as a society. So, that is why the religions are very helpful in that sense. But the certain aspects of religion that if we question, it is not allowed. We don't get the answer because we cannot cross question anybody. The reasoning in us has to be silent. We have to accept everything in faith, in good faith. We cannot put our controversial ideas in front of us. So, that is the way the religion goes on. Whereas a person who has grown much above, he drifts away from religion, goes into spiritual practices and gets himself transformed into a very great religious or spiritual person, and he goes on to attain Buddhahood. In his pursuit of truth he goes. So, both are there existing simultaneously. At the same time, there are atheists also who are non-believers. So, we witness all these three types of people, but always it is better to go for truth and find out the truth. And because the question somewhere, somehow, some incarnation, definitely the quest for truth will definitely arise in a man, because it is eternally there. In man's life, that eternal quest will be there for truth. So, it will in some incarnation it will arise it will surface to the topmost layer. So, man will always go for that. So, in the evolution it is like that. So, he has to go beyond religion, but religion also has its part, and it plays an important part at that. That is what Percival says.
The commands of the God whom he worships, the form of worship, the punishments threatened and the rewards promised show the particular element of nature to which his doer is attuned. A part of the human world is personalized in the organs, systems and senses in the human body. All these are made up of matter belonging to the four elements. Each of the senses is a nature unit doing service in a human body. The four senses of seeing, hearing, tasting, and smelling are the connections which relate the doer and the human as a distinct entity to nature as a whole through its four elements.
Percival goes on to say that even though man may be connected to the religion, but essentially he is made up of the four elements that are there, that is fire, water, air and earth. So his body is made up of that, and he is connected to, the doer is connected to the God that is has come out of his own imagination. So all people's imaginations have given form to that God, and they all worship that God. So similar mentality, similar thoughts are there in the doer that has formed the God. From the nature it has been taken. The power is given from the nature, and also his worshipping the God. From the two sources the God gets the power, and in turn it gives certain benefits to the person who worships. So all these things are there. We have been seeing all these things. So there is this faith that is there. So because of that it is all going on. And nature's gift is the gift to us, to mankind, is the senses through which he can see, hear, taste and also smell. So these four senses are given to us by nature, and they function to help humanity, to help man, to understand everything through the senses. So they are relentlessly working for us to get knowledge, to get our feelings, and also to acquire to get certain learnings through them. So like that it goes on. So the senses work throughout in order that we perceive and we get knowledge out of it, we learn from it, we enjoy that, we have got certain feelings coming out of it. So all these things help us in a great way. The doer is helped in so many ways by nature. So out of that the God also has come, and in certain cases we have seen God helping him. But ultimately man also comes to know that there is a limitation to that God, and everything that he aspires for is not fulfilled. So every desire of him is not fulfilled, and he has to think why it doesn't happen. So whether there is that's only a stepping stone for him to go to another stage, religion. So that he has to think of. At one stage he will think, and he will go in search of truth, and then he will get the truth. One who searches truth will definitely get the truth. So but in PSSM, in our movement, we always encourage people to go for spiritual practices, so that the truth is attained very easily, very fast, and the learnings also he gets very well, and life can be enjoyed at the same time. So many things can be learnt. So side by side learning and joy will happen, and then enjoyment will happen, and it becomes a perfect life for him. So ultimate is a spiritual path. That is what our scriptures say, and our movement says, our great master Patriji says. So truth is one, and every man has to go into the path of truth. Even though we know religion is essential, but it is not the ultimate.
Man cannot conceive of anything without identity or form. Therefore, when he wants to worship nature, he gives to nature form and identity. So he creates gods which are nature gods, magnified men and women. His religion is the tie between him and his gods. These nature gods cannot continue to exist without worship, for they need and depend on human thought for nourishment. That is why they are continually crying for and commanding worship.
So these nature gods that are created by man out of his imagination. That is, man cannot rely on anything without an identity or a form. He can never think of something without a form. Formless things cannot be retained in the mind. So that is impossible for an ordinary common man. So he needs a form, and he also needs an identity to that form. So he has created his own gods out of the men and women, and glorified many times. So multiple times it is glorified, and that is presented as a God. So that God, whether because he has given a form from nature, that is why it has got a form. Otherwise God, we say, is limitless and formless. That is what is also being taught side by side. So now what we have to understand from this is, religion is only a part in which he has to participate, but always his truth, the quest for truth has to be retained ever fresh in his mind, so that he will get into that path and follow those practices, and then come to know about everything, religion, gods, everything, and then move forward in his life. Spiritually he has to grow. That is the intention of nature, that man has taken here life is only for spiritual upliftment. So we should know that, and realization, that is, he should realize that he himself is that ultimate power that has created the entire cosmos. So we should come to that understanding, come to that learning only by spiritual practices and reading great masters' books like Percival's books, and also other, and listening to others' experiences, meditational experiences. All these three things will definitely enhance our enhance our growth in spirituality, and also it will be at a very great speed also, so that we come to know of the truth very easily and in short time. So Percival says that yes, religion is essential to a certain extent. So that in which level it is there, what it is actually, everything he is explaining threadbare. Yes, we have to understand that and then grow spiritually.
Nature and nature gods have no feeling and no desire in themselves, but they feel and desire with human feelings and desires. They get these through human bodies. That is not to say that these gods are subservient to man or that they are powerless. They are beings of splendor and of vast power. The force of nature is behind them. They are as faithful to man as he is with them. They reward a man or a people as far as they can. None of these gods has intelligence of his own. A god is not an intelligence and has no light of an intelligence except what he gets in the thoughts of human worship.
Yeah, the gods that are supposed to be worshipped in religion, that is what is taught in religion, they are all man-made. Out of the imagination of man, the gods have come into being. So, but they don't have any desires or any intelligence by themselves. They don't have that. They get all that only through when they get into the when they get connected to man, through their worship and their thinking. So it is man who has made these gods out of his imagination, taking from nature. But the gods, they get their nourishment only from man's worship, man's thoughts. That is the food for these gods, and they become very, very powerful because of that. Because a huge number of people, they look upon these gods which are created out of the imagination, taken from the nature. So the collective thought goes as a nourishment for the god, and enormous powers are go into forming a god. So the god becomes very powerful. That god which is made out of nature becomes very powerful, and it is as much faithful to the person who worships him as that person is faithful to the gods. So all the gods, they are very, very powerful, and they are also faithful if man is faithful to the god. That is the idea behind religion. So that is a concept that is being taught in the religions. But it is all coming to a certain extent. There is a limit, because furthermore you cannot question, furthermore you cannot ask anything. So if you want clarity, if you want something that the concept to be opposed, you cannot do that, because there you are in religion, you have to obey only. You have to obey the orders, obey the teachings or preachings of certain people, that's all. We cannot ask any question. The spirit of inquiry dies in a man if he is very much faithful into religion. So now he has come out and then start inquiring, and then he will get to the truth, and the path of truth will be open to him. Then only he can spiritually grow and attain very great heights. Then he will understand what is really God, that he himself is a God. That's why in our PSSM, we all address others as gods, friends, masters and gods. That is how it is. Other people are addressed. Like our Patriji always addresses others like this. Because he sees God in everywhere, in every person, every being. So like that, the masters in PSSM also are like that. They have begun to see gods everywhere. In the person who is in front of him is a God, as much God as he himself is. So the divinity is there in every human being. That is what is to be respected. Not only human beings, every being, the divinity is there, without which it cannot exist. That exactly what Percival says is the consciousness. The consciousness is there in every being, without which nothing can exist here. Everything has got a form, or even without a form, everything exists here because of great consciousness that is surrounding the entire creation. The entire creation has come out of that consciousness. That's what Percival clearly says. So with his wisdom, yes, we can gain our knowledge and go ahead and find out our own wisdom, so that our own wisdom crops up from within. It blooms from within, and we can be a self-actualized person. Yes, it is our turn now. All those great masters have become like that. So it is our turn to know about all these things in depth, and then continue our journey in the true path of spirituality, so that definitely we will achieve our desired goal in this lifetime.
The reason that nature gods desire worship from the doer in a human is that this is the only way by which they can receive the light of intelligence. Religions exist because there is this tie or pull of nature on the doer, and the triune selves use this relation for the development and education of their doers. Religions are allowed by triune selves for the purpose of letting their doers learn the law of thought as destiny, though the teaching is not under that name. Simple teachings only can be received by childish doers. Therefore, the doers have been allowed to believe that their God is the administrator of justice according to a moral code, and that he speaks to them through their conscience. The code of morals is furnished by triune selves, and by means of that code, responsibility of the doers is developed.
Okay, Percival has clearly told that how the gods function, the so-called gods which are created by out of the imagination of man, and also from taking the power from nature. But these gods, they have no intelligence of themselves, they have no desires also. But they take the intelligence from the man's worship. It is dependent on man's worship, without which the gods cannot exist. So, and the triune selves, they also want the doer to get connected to this, so that he is able to learn something. So the nature, from nature it is drawing the gods draw some power, and also from man's worship, man's thought also they gain some power and they become powerful. And worshipping such gods alone can feed the gods. Without worship they cannot exist at all. So the gods' nature is like that, the created gods' nature is like that, and the religions also depend upon that, on the doer for the worship of such gods, so that the religions can exist also side by side. Without the gods, religions cannot exist, and without the religion, gods cannot exist. Like that, they both are linked to each other, and in between, the doer in the body has to rely upon all these things. So from his worship, what happens? The gods get their intelligence. from the light of intelligence. So, some amount of light is thrown there back to the doer, and definitely the trained self want the doer to learn so many things. The doer as such can take only simple lessons, he cannot take very complex or diversified lessons. So, he is being fed only that much. So, he is in that level only all the time. So, those who worship will always remain at the same level, they will not go further in their development of their spirit. So, that is the doer. Doer cannot get more knowledge. So, it is all formed in such a way that each one is dependent on the other. So, there is so much of dependence. So, there is no question of liberation at all there. So, that liberation does not arise there. So, unless a person thinks differently and thinks above religion, then only he can come to an understanding that personally he has to develop his own soul, his own self to a higher degree, or that is by only questioning. So, he has to take to spiritual practices, follow the spiritual path, and he should always keep the quest for truth very much alive in his mind, then it has to go on. So, they think the law of thought is being given to the doer only through religion. So, that is what they think. So, that is why there is a law, so he is unable to think further than the religion. So, these things really there is a limitation in the setup of religion, so called religion. But man has to think, because that is also needed. Otherwise, man's behavior will be so different. He will not be God abiding and law abiding. So, his life will be full of chaos. So, such a situation is avoided by religions only. All men are brought together under a religion because to bring order, and the chaotic way of life is totally it is blocked. So, in such a way, in these terms the religions of course help mankind, but at one stage man has to think that he has to go beyond religion. That is why he points out, Percival points out the limitations of a religion. So, he clearly says all that, and man has to develop by himself by spiritual practices only.
As the doer advances, it begins to inquire. The arbitrary and quiet human injustice shown in the management of worldly affairs may bring about disbelief, agnosticism, and atheism, but only for a time. During such a period of transition, the rulers of the world seem to be blind chance and fortune, and the explanation of everything that is unusual, unrelated, and unexpected is that it happened as an accident. So, doers pass through the various stages of belief. They believe that man is born without having made his own destiny, that he has but one life on earth in which he sees justice equally meted out, that man is born in sin, that he may be saved from the consequences of his faults by vicarious atonement since he has no moral responsibility, that all depends upon the arbitrary will of God, that everything is the result of chance and accident. These doctrines are contrary to reason. In time, men will see that these credulously accepted beliefs are not valid objections to the law of thought, when they understand the whole plan of the development of the doer with all its unity, simplicity, analogies, and interrelations.
Very clearly put forth by Percival, sir. It is excellent reading now. So, we would have understood by the very reading that religions are limited. So, man has to go beyond religion in order to understand himself, in order to understand the injustices that are seemingly to be there in this worldly affairs. So, seeing all that, he will come to a point where the disbelief in religion starts. So, only disbelief in him, religion has to start, and he has to divert that belief into his own himself, that is belief in himself, that should start. So he should rely upon himself and then find out the truth. That is what is very, very clearly put. So all this by and by, all these things, all those abnormalities and the shortcomings of a religion will be understood by man, and slowly slowly he will develop, and the quest in him for truth will always be there, and with that he will grow and he will get the light of intelligence. Once the doer gets the light of intelligence, then definitely it is going to make him a very great master later on. So that part is the reasoning part in the doer is subdued by the so called religious principles, the religious doctrines. So that is why somewhere the reason will erupt out. So and then definitely he will start asking questions, why. So with that he will search the truth, and truth will be given to him. Ask and you will be given. Yes, that's a great truth. And when we ask for the truth, definitely truth will be attained by us. So with a little practice of spiritual knowledge in our day-to-day life, and practice of spiritual means, then we can definitely grow higher and higher, and we can attain Buddhahood, and the highest mastery in our life can be attained. It is not at all possible to prevent that or block that. Definitely every man has got the right and the liberty and the sense and the reason to come above religion and lead a great spiritual life. So it has been proved time and again. Several masters have come out of religion, the bindings of religion, and then they have grown spiritually very high, and then only they have attained what has to be attained by man. That is, God realization has been attained. He has really understood his own self realization we call it, is attained, and liberation has been attained by several masters. We come across several lakhs and lakhs of masters who have attained all this. So now it is our turn to know all these things. Why Percival has given all these details? Because he wants us to know where the religions have got some limitations. Even though religion is definitely a boon to mankind, at the same time it has got certain limitations. So, so now it is the turn of the doer in the body, who has to learn so many things, and through spiritual practices definitely he will be able to learn everything. And Percival has been a guiding force behind and to give us all this information and knowledge. Thanks to him. And I think we have come to the end of the session today. So over to Rajan sir. Thank you.
So friends, in conclusion, as far as the need for religions is concerned, our great author Harold Baldwin Percival has made us understand that religions are important in a way that they create a discipline and to bring about people to fall and obey a code of conduct. But at the same time, as Buddha says, any religion should be existing only without creating a fear element in the followers. And if there is love and compassion and there is no fear at all, any religion will be successful in getting more people to it. And of course, we have to understand that religion is the stepping stone for spiritual awakening, and many people who have been spiritual, who have become spiritual leaders, have come out only from initially following certain religious practices and getting them refined and streamlined so as to aid and help nature and society. With these words, we conclude this session. Thank you once again. Thanks to Girija Rajan too.